So what did you think of Bilbo joining the quest with you guys?
Verily, I was skeptical at first, but he does make a fine many meals, and he is a fine burglar.
Ah, I see. And was there any more, defaults on the way? Like, what was the worst things you guys bumped into? I heard you bumped into some trolls on the way.
Well, we almost died. Every time, very much. Thous attracted trolls, almost were eaten alive, attacked by spiders, goblins, were saved by eagles, and at the very end we had to infiltrate a dragon's castle, and then fight in a giant war against goblins after the dragon was, unknown to us, slaughtered, which made the treasure again ours.
Ah, I see. Well, I'm glad you guys came out alive. Pretty much. So I heard that Thorin died, one of your good dwarves.
Yes, he was our leader, the leader of the Mines of Moria at the time. He fell. I believe Fili and Kili took over, but I don't really know. I don't go there anymore.
And so Thorin was the son of Thrain, and Thrain was killed by the White... What is his name?
White Wizard?
White Goblin, I think it was.
White Goblin?
Oh, the White Orc.
The
yes.
White Orc, ah.
So the White Orc apparently killed Thorin in this big way. I don't know what happened, but I all I remember is that you said that... Well,
Thorin fell in battle.
He fell in battle.
He fell in the final battle after Smaug fell. There was a large attack of goblins down at the bottom of the castle.
So who
that is where he fell.
Thorin? Who killed Thorin?
I forget. It was probably a goblin of some sort.
So a goblin killed Thorin?
Yes, he fell fighting hardy in battle.
Oh, I see. So it wasn't the White Orc and it wasn't the dragon.
It wasn't the dragon. The dragon fell by the men of the river town.
Oh, I see.
They shot him through his weak spot, under the scale, with a black arrow.
Alright, and did any elves come back to help you?
I believe elves did end up assisting us, but I'm pretty sure it was mainly us and men. And then we came back and retreated to the elven town that earlier on assisted us. They're quite nice people, kind of snooty, but nice.
So you're pretty much saying that the elves were just like popping in and out of the party trying to help you all. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. And
also got eagles to help us, giant eagles.
Yeah, what about those damn eagles? So you're saying that these eagles come about during the time when you're in deep peril. Is that correct?
They're like the mafia, though. They come for a price. They'll help you out, but then you gotta help them out in some way. They don't really care about you, but you're gonna have to help out because they're beings of nature. You have to help them out in the nature, and we're miners, so we're not as much about appreciating nature as we are mining it and taking its resources for ourselves.
I see.
Yeah.
And so it was just one little single call from Gandalf to order in the freaking eagles.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And
kind of annoying, actually. They don't really help you out too much.
What kind of annoys me, just to jump forward, I kind of hear stories that Bilbo's hiding something from when they escaped from the trolls, the Goblin King's lair. I heard that he kind of took something.
Well, he is a burglar. I'd imagine him to steal stuff for a living, so he probably did take something.
I talked to Gandalf. He keeps puzzling about he took something. I don't know. It's more a figurative kind of object. I don't know. I can't really tell, but...
Well, I'm sure nothing big will come of that in the future.
But anyways, how is Bilbo? What is he doing now, you think?
Probably in where we first found him and encountered him, back in his home, eating lots of food, and writing a book of some sort.
Food. How did you guys survive the whole entire adventure with a little less food than you expected?
Well, we brought mini rations for one thing, but after we lost a decent quantity of those, we decided to hunt for food.
Well, yeah, you're a huntsman, of course. Yeah, you would have to hunt for your food. Was it hard to hunt for your food?
It depends on the location we were at. If we were in a very large foresty area, we could simply set traps or just catch some animals. But when we were in the areas with the goblins, we had to steal goblin food, or when we were with the spiders, there was just no sight there. But then once we got to the towns, or the elven place, they had feasts for us. We got to eat there. That was nice.
Yeah. But the eagles again. The eagles, how do they not fly you all the way to the Misty Mountains, to Smaug's lair? I mean, it wasn't that far.
Well,
where you guys were from.
Again,
compared to the Goblin King's mountain or caves, it wasn't much of a far flight to the friggin' Smog's lair. I mean, it was distances. You could hardly imagine geography. Fuck. You could just totally just fly from the Great Goblin's King's Lair, probably about like maybe an hour to the Smog's lair. I mean, what did you think of that? Like, would it have been helpful, or what was that about? I mean,
Those eagles, for one thing, they're more about the journey than the destination.
so it was more about journey for the eagles.
Yeah, for them, they don't want to help out someone on their journey, but they do like to come in at appropriate times and save you just because. Yeah.
And
They're also very prideful creatures.
what other things did you guys bump into? What were the worst parts? Like, what were the themes? What were the worst situations that you guys bumped into on the way the whole entire journey? Like, name a few and just count them down. Like, how many of them?
Well, if it wasn't for our good friend Baggins, we would have died from those spiders. They would have killed us. We had no sight there. He saved us. I was quite proud of that little burglar hobbit there. And then the other time was with the trolls, where if it wasn't for Gandalf, who just keeps disappearing and reappearing, he appeared at the proper time and saved us that time, and we were kind of saved ourselves because of the sunlight. Yeah.
It's pretty intense. And speaking of which, like, what you guys are gonna think when you do, guys, after this adventure? What you gonna do? Like now? Like,
Well,
what are you gonna do now?
It was all about getting the treasure from Smog's lair, and we got that, so yeah.
Yeah, did you get all the treasures from it?
Kind of.
Kinda. So you slayed the dragon, and yet you didn't get the treasure.
It's more. Yeah.
So you just left. Okay. Well, as long you got some richness from being a hero and saving the whole fucking world and all that stuff.
We didn't do that. We just tried to get treasure, and we defeated a dragon. Or we didn't actually defeat the dragon. We scared it out of its lair into a town of people. But they defeated it for us.
So how about those trolls? Like, if you imagine, like, so in that situation when those trolls took your horses, and you guys were distracted, what was your reaction when those big-ass trolls tied you up and tried to eat you? What was your first thought?
Well, that is the nature of the troll.
Yeah, but what was your thought being tied up? Like, were you thinking you were going to die, or were you going to be saved, or what was your anxiety inside of your head? What was in your head, in your mind at that moment? Ah! Exactly, I would have been screaming like that too. But so I heard that Bilbo comes to the rescue. And yeah, and
he tried to steal stuff. He was the one who got us caught in the first place that time. He didn't really prove himself until he found the troll's treasure for us. But at the same time, he did save us later on. Gandalf was the one who saved us that first time, and only somewhat. It was the sun that mainly saved us. It was just, I guess we all kind of worked together and helped distract the trolls until the sunlight came and Gandalf showed up.
Ah, so Gandalf is the one who also saved. He turned them into stone. That's the story.
The sunlight turned them into stone.
Oh, the sunlight. Well, yes, because they're night trolls. As so far as the adventure goes on, you can keep going on and on and on. What other, like, nasty creatures other than spiders or trolls? Were there orcs? Were there monsters? Were there demons? What was the worst one other than the dragon too? Because the dragon was the big hit.
Spiders.
Spiders. So that was it?
Yeah, because they had the advantage. We were in an area where we couldn't see anything. They could automatically find us. They were big. Just put us up in webs and be dead.
Yeah. So, as Bilbo joined, your huge crusade, what was your thought? Was he gonna make it? Is he gonna join, or is he just gonna run off back to the Shire? Like, what was your thought?
I thought he just had to be a good burglar. He seemed to be recommended well by Gandalf the Grey, and he was a great wizard, so I just, agreed with him. Not at first, I was skeptical at first, but proved himself.
I mean, I would be skeptical too if there's a little hobbit, but say 5 feet or fucking 4 feet tall, trying to save the day. I mean that's pretty hardcore. Because if I was,
but we are the same size as that hobbit. I believe actually somewhat shorter.
But you guys have more experience.
Yeah.
So after Bilbo skeptically jumps into the whole entire adventure, what was it like? Like, was it a change? Like, what did you feel with his presence there? Like,
We showed him the ropes over time. He learned how to be
So-
great. It was only from meeting such great warriors as the dwarves. that
so it was
he learned to
kind of
be such
mediocre
powerful.
between the time when you tried to teach him and he's trying to learn himself, basically.
We didn't teach him. He just learned from watching our great steam, and we just hoped for the best. And he did prove himself to be capable of learning our ways.
So he pretty much learned his lesson after that, all that adventure, and it looked like to me he had pretty much fun time. It would probably have been awful going through all that because it took places, and how long did it take for us to end?
A couple months, I believe.
Yeah, I mean,
About 3, 4.
big journey. I gotta say, like, from your really deep experiences of battling, was it a bigger adventure than you had before?
It was the biggest I've ever had.
The smallest.
I guess that time I searched for my lost dog in the middle of the mines.
Ah, did you find the dog?
Some of it.
Oh, okay. And are you guys well connected and have a good relationship with the elves now after the huge entire thing?
I don't trust some of them pesky elves, but some are fine and make fine feasts.
Well, not from the others. They said that they only had just salads and not much good foods. I have to say, yeah.
I lost that foot in the great
You
battle.
lost your foot. I see. Someone shingled it off, or did you lose
I
it?
lost it in the battle with Smog. Or not with
Oh.
Smog, but under this land of Smogs.
Did
Against
the
goblins cut off my leg.
So it wasn't the f***ing dragon that cut your leg off. It was the f***ing goblins.
Yeah, it was the goblins that cut
Oh,
off my leg.
well.
The dragon never really got to us. We were hiding.
I see. This has been the talk show on Mordor. We'll be back to you soon in the next 60 years.